We look to be heading for mid-table safety this season, but it's off the pitch where real strides are being made. We've made 2 record sales since last episode, and we've started to see some of our investment pay off already. In my time at Stockport, the youth intake has always been quite poor, but this time around we've got a few players who could potentially make a tiny little bit of an impact in the first team. I don't think anyone will actually get there this time around, but it's definitely an improvement on what we have seen recently. Tom Quinn is potentially the highest rated one out of the group, but the star graduate of the year is Matthew Davis. He looks like he could be a fairly decent player. If he does develop a little bit, then who knows, he could feature in the first team once or twice. But it's nice to see that the investment in the youth has paid off a little bit, and since we have made those 2 record sales, the board have agreed to improve the youth recruitment once more as well, so this will only improve. We are also getting improved training facilities, and we've been able to add a bunch of staff to the club. So the board are really continuing to invest in Stockport, and hopefully in the summer we'll see what they've got about a new stadium as well. Before we jump into the sales, we'll go over form from last time. Obviously we finished off with a very, very damaging defeat to League One Exeter. We followed that up with a 2-0 defeat to West Ham. We then beat Crystal Palace 2-0, but this was the start of a really unlucky run for us in terms of injury. Barnabas Bartos had to play in goal due to the injuries to Bazunu and Suzuki, and that did contribute a bit to a 3-0 loss. We then lost a few more players for this game against Newcastle United. I think Giovannini was out, Dilly was out, Ross was out. There was a lot of first team players that were missing through injury, but we did manage to get a 1-0 win. Furukawa getting his first goal for the club in that match. Jordan Ross then came back to the team and got a goal against Brentford against a 1-1 draw, before Salim Gerrard rescued us in the 96th minute with a 2-2 draw against Chelsea. Robert Chiriak also continuing his good form against Chelsea in this match by getting another goal. In this next game against Aston Villa, we looked up in the sky, we saw pigs flying. We received reports that hell had frozen over, and Jordan Ross and Lee Dilly both got on the score sheet in the same game. It really was a miracle, and that contributed to a 3-1 win against Aston Villa. And then most recently we beat Southampton 1-0. It leaves us 10th in the Premier League, but we are about to get into those games against the tougher opposition up the top end of the table. I think the relegated teams this year are already confirmed. We're only 2 points off our points tally from last year, so we definitely have improved this season. Hopefully we can have a good little end. And although it would be unlikely, maybe a little push towards the European places could occur. Getting into those record sales though, the first one was John Durrani has left us. £30 million we did manage to get in for him, but I think that is a tremendous deal for us. Obviously we bought him in on a free transfer when we were down in the Championship. He really helped us a lot in the Championship season, 26 goal contributions getting us promoted to the Premier League. And in the first season he did do relatively well, 10 goals, 3 assists, but has lost his place this season. I think he got sent off in that first game against Brighton, and I kind of lost faith in him at that point. But like we say, £30 million for a player that we bought in on a free transfer, I think is a fantastic bit of business for the club. That was the first record transfer that we made, but that has since been eclipsed by the transfer of Kota Furukawa. We sold him after the transfer window had ended, but we managed to get £40 million overall for him, 35 coming in straight away. We'll get 40 million on instalments as well. But I think what a deal this represents for us as well. We signed him for £8 million, 27 million made in profit. And like we say, another one who this year had drifted in and out of the team. Obviously got a solo goal for us in what was his second last appearance for the club. And although he was a fairly good player, I feel the money that we got for him couldn't be ignored. It's allowed us to invest in the staff, the facilities and everything else, and like we can see, we're left with a really, really healthy bank balance now. So definitely reasons to be optimistic for the future for Stockport, and hopefully we can just keep on going in an upwards fashion like we are at the moment. We have had the Wonder Kids list announced for the year as well. Just the one player in from Stockport is Peter Arnott, the player that we signed from Birmingham in the summer. It does look like he could be a tremendous player as well. Has developed a lot this season, so we're happy to see him in there. And we do have over £100 million left in the transfer budget, so we are going to have a little look through the list and see if there's anyone that tickles our fancy who we could maybe make use of some of that budget with before the season ticks over. We've added a few of those players to the shortlist, but we've returned for the game against Everton. We have just had an international break, so a few of the players have come back not fully fit, and we do have a little bit of the injury crisis still impacting us. Smith and Ross both out, and Balde still having a little bit of an injury as well. So it leaves us going out with Bazunu in goal, Barley, Zaplatal, Akcicek and the score as the defenders. Corrigan, Patino, Whittle and Foy are the diamond behind Gerrard and Angelo up top. It's an unfamiliar front two. I don't think these two have played together too much, but we're going to hope that they can show a little bit of improved form, and especially Angelo. He had a little bit of a purple patch earlier on in the season, but hasn't really done much since then. It's an opportunity for him to get back to goal scoring ways, and hopefully we can keep up the good run of form that we are on. It's 5 games unbeaten in the Premier League at the moment, and we are in front of the home fans today, so hopefully they can carry us on to another nice victory today. So Everton looking to strike first though. They've got a free kick from the edge of the box which hits the outside of Bazunu's post, and we survive for the time being. Seems to have been a relatively entertaining start, but not a shot on target as of yet. We've got Everton coming forward again now. Marlon on the ball in the box. He tries to play it to the edge of the area where Patterson has another effort which just drifts wide of our post, and we seem to be clinging on a little bit. We haven't seen a highlight come our way as of yet, so it looks like this team might be struggling to gel a little bit. We have had to chop and change quite a bit recently due to the different injuries that we have had, but hopefully once they've played together for a few minutes they can settle down. The score trying to come down the left hand side. He's won the ball back. Now Whittle gets it to Barley. Can he have an effort from the edge of the area? It hits Pickford's post. Didn't seem to have too much power on it, so thought it probably should have been easier for Pickford to deal with than what it was, but close for us getting our first goal of the game. But unfortunately it does remain deadlocked at 0-0. We have got another chance now, just coming into the 36th minute. Gerrard wins his header, but it doesn't go anywhere near the goal. He just slowed it down for the defender to get it away. It's only as far as Barley though, and we do keep hold of the ball now. Corrigan gets it to Patino, now with Foy. And again, it was just slow build-up play, but we find the scoring place down the left. He finds Angelo. Angelo can't get it on target, and Gerrard, I think, couldn't follow up either. It's been very, very wayward finishing in this match from both teams, and it probably wouldn't be surprising if it does go into a half-time break at 0-0, which it has done. We're going to lambast the finishing which we have seen, and hope that they can go out, play it the same way, but just be that little bit more clinical in the final third now. Neither striker is having a great game, so I think we are going to risk bringing on Lee Dilly in place of Angelo. Lee Dilly has just been away with the under-21s and had a really good experience. I think he's got 6 appearances for the under-21s now, and he's got 13 goals. So he's definitely a striker capable of finding the back of the net. We just need him to start doing it for us a little bit more. We can see him hovering at the edge of the area. Maybe if he got himself involved in the box a little bit more, he might get a few more goals, but he drilled it across and it managed to find the feet of Stephen Whittle, who's got his first ever goal for Stockport County, the 20-year-old that we bought in January. I think it may be his first start in the Premier League as well, but it was a good strike from the young man. He does really look a little bit out of place when you see the players around him. He's definitely not as physically imposing as the rest of them, but he was the one who found space in the box and found the back of the net. We are going to make a few changes now. We have got a few more players that are tiring. Arnott can come on in place of Corrigan. We'll bring on Hall in place of Patino, and I think we're going to bring on Giovannini in place of Gerrard. We'll move Foy to the pressing forward role. Giovannini can get back to the tip of the diamond, which he's done for us so many times before and played really well in that position, and hopefully he can have a little bit of an impact in the final few minutes of this match. But it would be a result which moves us into 9th place in the division if we can hold on. And like we say, it's an unlikely late push to the European spots, but you never know what could happen. And if we win the next game against Spurs, they might start feeling a little bit edgy. And we could just make the teams above start fearing a little bit as well. We need to finish this game low. Everton coming forward, looking to put us under pressure. They will be very happy with the season they've had. I think obviously deducted 9 points at the beginning of the year and have managed to almost secure safety already. It's not mathematically secure, but looking at the table, I think the 3 teams are already confirmed. Everton grabbing an equaliser in this match. It was a drilled cross on the right hand side which our defenders just didn't cope with at all, and it was able to fall to the Everton man who just drills it into the back of the net. We see it now coming past a few players. I think Akcicek may have got a toe to it, but that just took it into the path of Sinistera, who drills an effort into the back of the net. We'll bring on Cafalones now, and we are going to demand more for these final moments of stoppage time. But I don't think there's going to be anything that happens, and we start today's episode off with a draw, which does actually leave us in 9th place, so we have gained a place in the Premier League. Would have been nice to stick out and get that win though. The next match is the beginning of the run of games against the top half teams though. We begin with Spurs before we take on Liverpool, Man U, Arsenal and then Manchester City. So it's a bit of a gut-wrenching run at the moment. We start off, you would probably say, with the easiest challenge with Spurs, but we know it's not going to be an easy game for us. That's going to be in about a week's time, and we'll see you there. Possibly one of the worst bits of news I've ever seen in a Football Manager save. Our star left back, Lascaux, is going to be out for the next 8 to 12 months. He's fallen down the stairs and he's suffered a lower back stress fracture. Oh god. That really is a nightmare. We're going to send him to the freak. Oh my god. Oh, well, they really got us with that one. Oh, thank you, Sports Interactive. Oh, he's alive. Thank the Lord. Thankfully, the score is available for today's game. He's joined in the defence by Zapletal, Chiriac and Barley in front of Bazunu. Arnott comes back into the team with Patino, Whittle and Foy making up the diamond in front of him, with Gerrard and Dilly up top today. Like we say, it's a game in which we are going to have to put in an improved performance. We really should have scored a lot more goals against Everton than what we did. We have been very guilty of wasting a lot of chances in recent matches, and we just need our forward players to show a little bit more composure in the final third. We're up against a Tottenham team who are on a bit of a bad run of form at the moment, so we need to take advantage of that. We are unbeaten, and hopefully we can go out and unsettle them early on and just ride that unsettledness to a win for ourselves and boost ourselves up the league table while we're at it as well. Spurs obviously looking to battle for the European places, so they'll be desperate for a win as well. But like we say, we know a late good surge of form from us could really propel us up there. So we've got reason to want to go out and win ourselves, but it looks like Tottenham are the more motivated team today. Mateta has given them an early 1-goal lead in the match. So yeah, there's a lot of work for us to do. We'll have to salvage something from the game today. They've just easily drove infield from the throw-in from the right-hand side. Quick one-touch passing, got it to Sarr at the edge of the box, and he just rifled the effort into the top corner. Bazunu didn't really stand a chance with that one. We're looking to get back into it early. Patino's going to whip the ball into the box. And can we find Chiriac? We can't this time. Gerrard has it at the edge of the box. Can he get it back in there? He finds Dilly. And Dilly's put it out for a throw-in this time. Oh my word. That kid can't finish. He's got like 16, 17 finishing, but he can't hit the back of the net at all. And my God, he is very, very frustrating for us. Spurs looking to take advantage of that miss and go 2-0 up, but Bazunu bravely claims the ball, and can he start off an attacking move for us? He boots it up the pitch. Patino, can he get onto it? He can't this time, but we manage to win it back. It's Gerrard now into the Spurs half. He runs to the right hand side. He's got Dilly in the middle, but Dilly can't win the ball, and now Sancho is coming forward for Spurs. They get it over to the right hand side to Kulusevski, but he just slows the play down, and then the play into the middle. Hopefully we're going to see us win it back, but Saad does manage to evade Barley and play it back to Gahey, and now it's a searching ball from Brahim Diaz which goes through and finds Riglioli, and Spurs go 2-0 up in the match. And it's another big opportunity missed from us, which really could have changed the complexion of the game. Lee Dilly, again, when it does look a lot easier for him to score on so many occasions, he just doesn't. He just misses all the time. It's it's really, really worrying. He can score for the under-21s when he plays for England. Why can't he do it for us? Losing 2-0 at half time. It's unfair to just blame Lee Dilly. Obviously that miss was a big factor in us going 2-0 behind rather than going into it at 1-1, but we've seen poor performances from Patino, Foy. All the defence aren't having the best of games today, so yeah, it's just been a terrible game from us. We're going to bring on Sawyer in place of Foy. We'll bring on Cathal Owens in place of Patino. And I'm going to bring on Angelo in place of Dilly as well. We'll leave it at that for now. But we definitely need to do a lot more in the second half. We're going to go attacking as well, just to see if that's going to make any changes for us. But much improvement needed for this second half. We see Gerrard on the right hand side. He gets it to Barley, but he plays it back to Chiriac now. If we can build something from this slow play, it would be great. Whittle with a good ball into Gerrard now, and he gets to the edge of the box. Finds Cathal Owens, and Cathal Owens, I think that's his first goal for Stockport, and early in the second half we managed to claw ourselves back into the match. It was good play, and all the youngsters involved, Whittle playing it to Gerrard. We see Gerrard just making a good little run, making some space for Owens to get into the box, and he really finished with aplomb as well. It was a good finish into the top corner, and we find ourselves with an opportunity to get back into the match. Spurs though with the kick-off highlight, Kulusevski coming forward. He's drifted past all of our defence almost. He plays it back to Gomez, and now it's with Brahim Diaz. He's been a creative force in this game, and it bobbles round the box, but Sarr thankfully heads it over the bar, and we remain 1 goal behind. We do have an opportunity to maybe claw it back very early on in the second half. It's only the 51st minute. We've got a corner. Peter on it on the ball. He tries to get it back. It's intercepted, but he wins it back. Owens now gets it to Whittle, and Whittle, trying to get his second goal in as many games, just places his effort over the bar. But we've come out in the second half with so much more conviction in our game, and we're definitely trying to get back into the match. Barley's having a really poor game at right back. We're going to bring on Corrigan, and we're just going to swap him and Arnott around, so Arno's in that right back position now. We have one change left, and I think it's safe to leave it. There's still a lot of time in the match. We don't want to risk picking up an injury and not being able to change the man. But I do think for the final 15 minutes, which we're approaching now, Whittle can come off, Giovannini can come on, and hopefully he can provide that little bit of experience for us to get us back into the game. We'll go very attacking as well. Maybe see Bazunu join a couple of attacks for us and maybe get himself a goal as well. That would be very, very exciting for us. Spurs, with this win, would lift themselves back into the European places, so they'll be very happy with what they're saying at the moment. We are going to give our players one last shout of encouragement for the final 5 minutes of the game. Spurs coming forward now though. Sancho on the right hand side. He looks to be just trying to play it into the corner. He finds Gomez. He's drifting inside. Surely Brian was offside. Referee, surely. Oh. They've gone 3-1 up, but I'm sure this looked like it should have been offside. When Gomez drifts in here, when he has his effort. Well, I'm not very happy with that. I'm really not happy that I'm not even reviewing it. Like, it looked close to being offside. If anything, it should have been a review. But to see them do absolutely nothing, I'm very sceptical about what they've just witnessed in comparison to us. Giovannini now looking to get the ball forward. There's still a little bit of time left, but realistically, I think Spurs have come and got the win in this match. Zapletal plays it to Angelo though, and so you're doing this one? Referee, you're an absolute scumbag. He has allowed it, but he's an absolute scumbag even for reviewing it in the first place. Good ball forward from Zapletal, composed finish from Angelo, and we do still have a little bit of a glimmer of hope, it seems. We're very, very aggrieved with the referee's performance. I think Zapletal was probably trying to kick that one into the back of the net, but Angelo showed good awareness to get his foot to the ball to take it over the line. There's 7 minutes of stoppage time for us to get through, but that means there's plenty of time for us to get the goals. Chiriac now on the ball. I thought Giovannini was making that run forward. Chiriac didn't play it far enough to find him, but we retained possession. On it now, looking for Giovannini's run down the right hand side, but Spurs intercept. Great play from Catalones to win it back low. It's Gerrard and Arnott making a 1-2 down the right hand side. Not really sure where we're going with this. Zapletal wasn't ailing. He's lost out to Sancho on the halfway line, but Bazunu's able to make a save, and we stay 1 goal behind. And there's lots of highlights coming up in stoppage time, it seems. Spurs now with the ball, but Angelo wins it back, gets it to Owens. What can Owens do? I think maybe he might have got a player sent off. Yes, we've got the rest of the stoppage time to play with Spurs down to 10 men. We do have an opportunity. Gerrard! We might have done it. The referee again is going to go to VAR, but maybe we've come back into it in the final moments of this game. Catalones is celebrating like we have done it, but we... Scumbag ref, you're a scumbag. Why? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Fair. It's a deflating loss, but I feel aggrieved by the referee in that game. I feel he has cost us. But we did well to try to get back into the match. Obviously, thought we'd done it at the end there, but rightly it was disallowed. It leaves us in 12th place in the Premier League. 7 games left though. We've got 1 point to get until we match last season's points total. So I think we definitely have had a much better season this year around, and we have already confirmed our spot in the Premier League for next year as well. That result, even though we lost, we have confirmed we have avoided relegation. So reasons to be pleased. Can go into these last few games without the pressure. We're going to be coming back for next episode for those final couple of games against Leicester and Wolves. Don't think there's going to be much riding on them, but an unexpected run of wins in these games prior to that could see us fighting for Europe. Very unlikely, I would imagine, though. As always, if you have enjoyed that, please make sure to like and comment down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel for regular Football Manager updates. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.